Welcome to the Sage Solutions podcast, where we talk about all things personal growth, personal development, and becoming your best self. My name is David Sage, and I'm a self-worth and confidence coach with Sage Coaching Solutions. Now, you might notice that today's episode is a little different than others. That's because it's a mini episode, and because of a series of circumstances, which we'll talk about in a second, I'm not recording this in my usual setup. This is not my normal microphone. I'm just recording this on my phone because that was what the situation allowed for. Today, we're going to talk about setbacks. What happens when obstacles get in your way, when things don't go according to plan. How do you handle that? Now, this, like I said, is a mini episode, so we're not going to delve deeply into one specific topic. We're more just having a real conversation about what happens when stuff just doesn't go your way. A lot of things in life have been extra tough in the last chunk of time here. I recently lost my stepfather, John Azalina, who was an important guest on this podcast. Just this last weekend, we had the celebration of life. And up until his passing, he needed a lot of help with things. And I was happy to be in a position to be one of the people that was able to step up and help with all of the things that he needed. The Fiserv Forum has picked back up, which is great because I love working there. But it also means that time has gotten a bit more scarce. None of the things I've talked about alone are enough to cause this episode here to be what it is today. At my apartment, the apartment complex is great because they are very on top of it when it comes to keeping up the facilities, maintenance, all kinds of things. We have a great management company. But right now, they're redoing the siding and roofing and soffits and fascia and gutters and all of the buildings around us and currently on our building. This has made it very hard to record because there is constant banging, and that has to be balanced with the rest of life. And frankly, I'm not willing to subject you, my podcast listeners, to constant banging and grinding and things in the background. That is a type of irritation that I'm not willing to put you through. When I tried recording, nothing I could do could block out the sounds. I then tried changing my whole setup and recording at my mom's house, and I could not get the laptop to recognize my microphone. Sometimes things just don't go the way that you want. So here are the lessons from what I've learned from today. When things go wrong, pivot, adjust, adapt, be flexible, try and find other solutions. Contemplate and dwell on the situation or think about it or let yourself have feelings about it when you need to later. I'm not trying to make a black and white statement here. I am in a situation where there is a deadline and a commitment and time pressure, which is very different than situations where those things aren't major factors. When I hit that point where I realized that life has been so busy and it was completely unfeasible for me to record on my microphone and give you the voice quality that you're used to, I had to make a decision. I could have crumpled, gotten really upset, folded, and decided I'm just going to skip this week, put out some sort of a post. But that's not how resolve works. You see, I made a commitment. I made a decision, and with that decision, I made a commitment. And therefore, I have a feeling of resolve that I rely on. A resolve to do what I said I was going to do, to have integrity. Because this podcast is important to me. It's important to me that I show up when I say I'm going to show up for you. So when things don't go your way, there's 3 lessons I want to bring up here. First, pivot, adapt, adjust, be flexible, figure out another way. Number 2, don't fold. Stick to your resolve. Do what you said you were going to do. Have integrity, even if things aren't going to end up being perfect. And then number 3, develop resilience. Resilience is what allows you to handle that change, to weather it, to be like water, to be flexible or rigid when it is required, to handle the obstacles in your way, to adapt to change, to adapt to life. Now, I will end up doing podcasts on all of these topics. In fact, my next podcast, which will be coming out sometime this week, and will be a nice full-length episode, not a mini one like this, will be on resolve. Thanks for listening, and remember, you are enough, and you deserve to fill up your inner cup with happiness, true confidence, and resilience. Thank you for listening to the Sage Solutions podcast. Your time is valuable, and I'm so glad you choose to learn and grow here with me. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on more sage advice. One last thing, the legal language. This podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. No coaching-client relationship is formed. It is not intended as a substitute for the personalized advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or other qualified professional.